is it seeing the device ID?
How is it seeing what? Go ahead.
The device ID string, why it recognizes the Cisco, not the Wi-Fi?
Because, okay, so what we're doing here with VoIP Hopper is using the tool to emulate how each phone works. So Jason's gone in and figured out how each phone works. Cisco phones use CDP to connect. Cisco Discovery Protocol Avaya phones use a flagged DHCP. So we've got emulation of both different phone sets.
Okay. So yeah, I can ping the phone now. I mean, not the phone. I can ping the PC. So I've broken into the voice VLAN. Thank you. Thank you.
There's a question in the back, Jason.
Well, we need to go. Yeah, sure. What's the question?
So some Cisco phones, like the 7940, send their own CDP on the switch, announcing themselves.
Right.
Have you found that useful?
I'm sorry?
Have you found it?
Have you found that useful in any way?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm spoofing the two CDP packets. I'm going to show you guys later on. I'm going to actually show it.
You're probably I understood that you were catching the one emitted by the switch, announcing the VoIP field.
No, that's not what I was doing. I actually sent the CDP packets just like the IP phone did. That's how I was able to gain access into VoIP. I'm sorry?
I was thinking of the old version of VoIP.
Correct. This is the brand new version that does CDP spoofing. I'm going to show both of the versions. Excuse me. Okay, I'll jump into that. So we've demonstrated this. We need to get back into the PC. Okay, so the next thing I started thinking about, I realized I was making kind of a mistake when I was doing this pen test with the customer because I was always disconnecting the phone from the wall, and I would connect the PC directly in. And I was like, started thinking, what happens if I plug into the back of the phone and do some fun sniffing on the back of the phone? So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to plug the phone in, and then we're going to go into the back of port 2 on the phone. Okay, so this connection, I'm SSHing into the regular data access VLAN on the backtrack machine, and we are we're going to sniff on the back. That's what happens when you have nervous fingers. Don't worry, it's a fake password. Be real careful now. Okay, let's go ahead. This is I'm going to use the libpcap, and this is what VoIP Hopper uses. It uses libpcap, but I'm going to use T-Shark. I've got this filter expression that I'm using, and we're sniffing on the back right now. Okay, so I specify the interface. And now this is the new feature of VoIP Hopper. You've done -C is for CDP. There's two different modes. There's sniff mode and then there's spoof mode. We're going to do sniff mode right now. Okay, so we're sniffing on the back of the IP phone. And the fascinating thing is, in a default configuration, these Cisco IP phones actually advertise CDP, and they actually send and receive CDP.
On the PC port?
I'm sorry?
On the PC port?
Yes.
Yes, on port 2, on the PC port, by default, Cisco IP phones send CDP and they receive CDP.
It's fascinating.
What's that?
He said it was fascinating.
Yeah,
That makes perfect sense. That's just a switch, right?
Yeah.
And it's a broadcast packet. So it just goes on both ports, right?
No, it sends its own CDP. It's functioning as the Ethernet switch. It's not getting sent through from the switch to it. If you analyze the CDP, okay, so we see here VoIP Hopper got its IP address, voice VLAN 200. If I was to run a packet capture right now, you would see that the CDP packet is generated by the IP phone and sent to the PC.
Yes.
It's not sent from the Ethernet switch through the phone. Okay?
So Cisco, after the release of the first VoIP Hopper, built some functionality into some of their iOS code to defeat some of the things we were doing.
I'll talk about that.
Okay.
That new feature. Okay, now I want to show you the CDP spoofing. All right, so this is the brand new feature. I've got it set up so that it shows the example usage for a SCCP firmware phone, as well as here we go here. All right, so we see here that VoIP Hopper sent one spoof packet and sent the second spoof packet, and it got its IP address. And you see here that it's sleeping and sending CD packets after that. Every 60 seconds, which is exactly what an IP phone does, and I created some custom code so it sent the VoIP VLAN request. You see here 512, that's the VoIP VLAN request from VoIP Hopper. 200 is immediate response from the IP phone or the switch, okay? So I couldn't believe that when I saw that, because that has a lot of security issues right there. So let's take a look at this. How do we mitigate this? Well, in SCCP firmware, you can disable the PC voice VLAN access. That will turn off CDP, so the phone doesn't respond or send CDP. And then it only allows the VLAN 100. The second way to mitigate is disable the PC port on the back of the phone, so there's no access on PC port 2. Okay? This is a URL by Cisco that's some interesting recommendations. I'll get into that in a second here. That's some good time.
Yeah, you got time.
Okay.
Calm down.
All right, so we see that it sent its other little discovery packet. Because what happens is on the 802.1x, there's an aging mechanism of 3 minutes on CDP, and I could show it here, but after 3 minutes, if VoIP Hopper doesn't send that packet, then the switch removes it from the CDP table, and the port goes inoperational. So VoIP Hopper has to keep on sending the CDP, and I mean, to me, CDP obviously is not a security mechanism. So we've just kind of coded a little CDP client into VoIP Hopper. All right. So what happens when a customer goes ahead and disables all those PC ports? So there's a real fancy hack that I've learned, and it's called unplugging the phone from the back of the wall and plugging the PC directly in.
Can you go over that again?
I'll post it online for you. So when the PC is directly connected into the wall, which is in the low physical security areas where you can get away with doing that, some of the administrators I've talked to, they say, well, it's easy. We're going to defeat this voice VLAN access by just doing MAC address filtering, right, John? You've seen many customers do that. So let me show you another fancy hack.
Does everybody in the room know you can spoof a MAC address, right? Just wanted to check. Okay, thank you. You work for one of my clients, don't you?
We're in trouble here.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Okay. So the crazy trick is you look on the back of the phone and it has its MAC address printed on it. Call me.
Doesn't it even have it as a barcode?
Yeah. It's
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm going to talk a second.
Extra speed uses a barcode.
right. Yeah, it's designed so you can scan it for deployment, right? Convergence, what I mentioned earlier, but that gives us a lot of tools to get into it.
Okay, so I got the MAC address right here on the phone. I'm just going to show a quick example of this.
But if port is disabled, can you use your hub, plug the phone into hub, and then your PC in the same hub, and then?
Absolutely, yeah, and I was going to talk about that, but you beat me to the trick. Going back to these lobby phone recommendations is really good. This is a really good URL by Cisco, posting all this good information on these remote IP phone deployments. And one of the things they say actually is removing the sticker off of here, and also locking the display phone settings, so you can't find the MAC address. But I've got a slide on that. I mean, it's just all you do is just put a hub in between, and you can sniff for the MAC address. So if it's a physically insecure location, you're gonna find the MAC address. Okay, that's a given.
Don't forget the power supply, because your hub's not going to do PoE.
Yeah. Okay, so that was a mistake I made. What I wanted to show here was I spoofed the MAC address, and good, I didn't do that there. Okay.